What's going on, Bulls fans? Marc Eversley has recently made comments that have triggered quite a few Bulls fans. We're going to get into it all and more, but first, we got to play that intro.
Tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today. So, Marc Eversley, who does not talk very often or very much regularly, said something today that I know is going to trigger a lot of Bulls fans, but I want to break it down to kind of more of a high detail level. I think that when you look at it, there's a lot that was said here that I think is going to be taken a different way. I've already seen like Ricky O'Donnell take it a different way and try to paint it under a different light. But when it comes down to Marc Eversley talked about the concept of tanking, right? And in regards to that, saying this, there's no appetite in our building to go young and just blow it all up. We've gone young. We've got players who are experienced and give us a greater opportunity to have a longer runway for sustainability to winning meaningful games for a longer time. I don't want to a year from now be winning 15 games and focusing on the lottery. We have an opportunity here to roll out younger players who give us an opportunity to turn this thing around, maybe not quicker, but in a more pragmatic approach than just looking at the future and building through the draft. So I've seen already some people take this and say Marc Eversley doesn't believe in building through the draft. That is not what was said here. And you guys know I'm always one to try to separate the narrative from the facts, right? In no way was this saying that they don't believe in building through the draft. It was saying that we don't believe in just prioritizing the draft and not trying to win and do the best that we can in building what we have here with young players. We don't just want to jettison off everybody and just be bad winning 15 games to just get the best chance at lottery picks. They want to develop while they're and they may be bad over that case, right? He's even made the case that we have the chance to still try to compete. And I know that's something that a lot of Bulls fans aren't necessarily with, right? I understand that. But ultimately, it comes down to this. It comes down to this is the most realistic way. And I know a lot of Bulls fans want to see the Bulls tank or thought that the Bulls should tank. But when you look at it, tanking generally just does not work at the level of what it takes of what you have to sacrifice for a team. So, yes, the Bulls have gone younger, right? They've gone younger and they've put themselves in a situation to where they very well may prioritize, be able to keep their top 10 pick, but they're not doing that at the behest of having no talent on the team and still not trying to build winning mindsets and thought processes. And that's what I look at it as like. And so people who are now trying to take this to mean that either the Bulls don't prioritize building through the draft or organically, that is not what this says. And there's so much narrative just around this comment where I feel like people are reacting to it rather than processing what's actually said by Marc Eversley. Now, is there still some concerns in hearing this from Marc Eversley? Yeah, there's still some concerns in that, right? This team is still trying to compete. In this article as well, he said that, before they felt they owed it to the guys and Nikola Vucevic and stuff to try to fight for it. And I know that can be triggering for Bulls fans as well. Make no mistake about it. I understand that. But overall, this is a team that did change the direction of the roster. They have gone younger. They still could very well be a team that is still towards the bottom. We'll see how things work out. But you've now regrouped with some younger talent that can and will develop over your team for a longer period of time. And that's the thing that is going to create that difference for the Chicago Bulls for, in this pseudo rebuild and things like that. So I'll talk about this kind of more in depth on tomorrow's daily episode. So be on the lookout for that in the morning. But I'm reading some of the in the Twitter sphere and things like that with people really reacting to it. And like I said, I love Ricky O'Donnell. I make no mistake about Ricky O'Donnell. He's been in this game for a long time, but he is definitely one of those Bulls commentators that has become jaded because of the disappointment that this team has had for the last handful of years. And I understand that. But to try to paint this as something that it's not, it's just something that I personally can't get with. So it's not that Marc Eversley doesn't value building through the draft. It isn't that Marc Eversley doesn't understand the importance of drafting well over time. It isn't the fact of Marc Eversley being against maybe if the Bulls just are bad this season, getting Cooper Flagg. It's just the fact that The Bulls had a approach to this offseason of we want to get younger, we want to get guys that have still ceilings that can uncover something. And if we do end up missing out on our draft pick this year, it's because those young guys have stepped up tremendously. Now, they still have business that needs to be done in Zach LaVine and things like that. But we'll see what happens with that, right? And also, when you add into that the comments of an anonymous Bulls member, and then we get an article from Marc Eversley talking today, it really just adds into this something like, is there something more going on here that we all need to be aware of? But that's a conversation for another day. Overall, I just look at this situation and I say, hey, it is what it is. The Bulls have picked this route, and it's not that the Bulls, they aren't tanking for Cooper Flagg, right? They aren't going all in like teams like Brooklyn and stuff that look like they're going to be all in and trying to tank to try to get Cooper Flagg. But what they are doing instead of that is that they could still keep their top 10 pick, which there are a lot of players still in this top 10 that can still drastically help the Chicago Bulls and what they're trying to do and improve the team. And that's really how you have to look at it, man, in my opinion. I like to kind of weave through the nonsense to get to the truth and break that down. Hey, everyone. Happy Tuesday. That's from Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Glad to hear from you, brother. We got TBO says, you a true GOAT, my G. I ain't smoke crack. That's crazy. That's crazy. Do you think that changes if we were in the play-in? Do you think we take the L or do we win? I mean, listen, I really don't know. I said it. I always look at it in this way. If it comes down to one game and the Bulls, if they win that game, they make the play-in, or if they lose that game, their draft pick is going to be like number 9 to guarantee they can keep it. I say that the Bulls are going to probably tell people, hey, you're sick today. But I don't think that they're going into the season with the thought process at the beginning of the season that they're tanking come hell or high water. Marc Eversley, first comment in years to say he's against. That's not what he. Listen, you can't bring in Josh Giddey and then Modest Bucilis and say you're against White Boy Summer. We're in the midst of White Boy Summer right now. Full tanking now would hurt young core development. Emmy is correct. Exactly. And that's the way that I like to look at it as well. This is, I know it's not as much of the clear improving yourself and being just terrible so you can get Cooper Flagg, but it would be the Bulls type of thing that if the Bulls did decide to go full tank mode, that then they would end up not keeping the pick. That's something that would absolutely happen to the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, tank for Cooper Flagg as if he will win anything like MP. You don't know. You will see you go. That's a stupid mindset. Like the thing is that the people that have everything, you're not going to be Michael Jordan. You're not going to be Pip. Well, yeah, there's no point in. Shut the fuck up. Like that's not what that's said here. Like comprehension is everything, man. Listening to fellas that talk Bows on the CHGO channel, Bulls on CHGO channel. I sometimes really hate to hear Matt Peck break down and explain some of the stuff. It's like he really just wants the Bulls to accept tanking. Well, Matt Peck, I do think is somebody who's in the area of wanting to see the Bulls tank. He's also sell the team, which we know that Jerry Reinsdorf is never selling the Chicago Bulls. You guys know I support Matt Peck. Matt Peck's my guy. I never will say anything bad about Matt Peck, whether I agree with him or disagree with him. But things like that, we know that the Reinsdorfs are never selling the Chicago Bulls. So anybody who keeps pushing that, hey, sell the team, it's never happening. They're not selling the team. It's not going to happen. Jerry Reinsdorf is so ingrained in the city of Chicago, especially now after they announced the Project 1901, they're never selling the Chicago Bulls because now they're going to own not just the Bulls and the UC, but the restaurants, the hotels, the amphitheater, all that's going to be around the area. That 1901 project should have reaffirmed to everybody it's never happening. The Jerry Reinsdorf is never selling the Chicago Bulls. Not in our lifetime. It's not going to happen. Michael ain't going to do it. Jerry Reinsdorf ain't going to do it. Susie Reinsdorf ain't going to do it. Little Billy Bob Reinsdorf, that's 2 years old right now, ain't going to do it. They're going to own that team for as long as we are alive, period. Why the Bulls can't get a trade done with the Pelicans for Zach? Ain't they shopping? They don't want Zach LaVine. Everybody who presents this like, oh, just send Zach. The other team has to want him too, right? It's not just as simple as, hey, we heard you're shopping CJ. We got a Zach LaVine for you. You want that? No, they don't want that. They don't want it. Zach capable of 30 Bulls kids crying yet one inch. What? That's not even a sensible comment, bro. Depends on how the season went and how the team's doing. If everyone's healthy, 1 or 2 guys take a leap and we ball them, they might go for a playoff run to give the young core the experience, if not tank. Agree with that. Peck be spit. Oh no, some Peck be cooking. Peck be cooking. That's why I say, like, despite if I agree or disagree with Peck on a couple of topics, like, make no mistake about it, Matt Peck is one of the best Bulls content creators around. Period. Him and Big Dave. Period. There's nothing but respect and love for those guys and what they have brought to this city and to this team. You gotta love them. Gotta love them. Man, forget what everyone's talking about. I'm excited for this new young core about damn time. I'm excited. I think the play style is going to be really fun as well. I think it's going to be really fun. Thank you, Eversley. Just got out there and hoop. This season is about prove your worth. It's about prove. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these players got things to prove this season. If we lose, we get a top 10 coup pace. If we win, we win by still trading Levine and Vooch somehow and getting in the play. Listen, if we trade Levine and Vooch and still make the play in, hey, listen. Jerry going to be buried under the, and yeah, he's going to hunt Jerry Reinsdorf. Even 50 years after he dies, he's going to come back like Emperor Palpatine. The moment that the Bulls win the title, going to be yes, ticket sales. That's literally what Jerry. Evil never dies. I keep telling you all that. Evil never dies. Are better top 6 playoffs because of your youth making major leaps. We can go on free agent route. Then, well, I won't say that for sure because we've never been a free agent destination. Hell, we were in the Eastern Conference Finals and didn't become a free agent destination. So I don't know that. We'll see what happens, but we'll see what happens in that. Billy Donovan just started working on the video room too. They ain't selling the team. Oh, is that for real? Is that real? That's crazy. That's crazy. If you think you know Shizzle, how comes you ain't even what? That talk like a goddamn, like, talk about in the know. Be a human. Stop trying to be cool. You sound like a fucking idiot. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You sound like your mom and your dad are cousins. First cousins at that. Like their parents are twins and they had a baby together, which resulted in you a human fecal matter. Like you're an ass baby. I know for 100% fact they had to snip your mama's coochie because you were coming out her ass. They had to create a little bit more space for you to come out. Shut the fuck up, ass baby. We ain't got time for your bullshit. Shut the fuck up. Like the real talk. You came out of the womb eating ass. That is your lot in life. You were a shitty mouth person. Chill the fuck out, bro. Chill out. Evil never dies. That's how I feel about LeBron. That's crazy. Is LeBron evil? We're labeling LeBron as evil. Is that what we're doing in 2024? That's crazy. Get him. Listen, people just come in here just like what the hell are we doing, man? Like that's wild, bro. That's wild. Like you got bigger things to worry about. Like that's crazy, man. Honestly, are we all surprised that the Chicago Bulls are not looking to tank, especially now that they have some young core that they could really build around? Yeah, they're not going to. Like it's just not going to happen. Coming into this is insane. Listen, I hate it when people walk in and I'm flaming somebody because really he could have just shut up, bro. He could have just shut up. What the fuck I just walked into? An absolute roast session is what you just walked into. That's what you walked into. Ariel, I don't talk to people. You're not supporting my channel if you talk like a dumbass. And listen, this ain't ESPN. I don't hurt for subscribers. I tell y'all one thing. This ain't fucking Bears now, Bulls Chat Sports. This ain't none of that shit. I don't give a fuck if you subscribe or not. You're missing out if you don't subscribe to the channel. You ain't doing me no good. If you come in here talking crazy, I'm gonna talk crazy right back to you. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You can take that support, ball it up, and shove it up your ass. I don't need to be supported by dumbasses. I want to be supported by Bulls fans who like to have discourse and talk sensibly. If you support and you're a dumbass, hey, shut the fuck up and be quiet because you may get flamed. That may be what happens around here. This ain't ESPN. Y'all hating, pal. I'm finna bust. You stupid, bro. You stupid, man. I'm optimistic both Vooch and Levine will look better with Giddey. The man makes Landale look good, so I have optimism. Hey, I don't listen to see how he works with Landale. I would not be surprised at all to see how he'd work with Vooch and Jalen Smith for that matter. I think I would love to see him work with Adama Sanogo. If I'm just being 100% honest with you, I would love to see it. Shout out to my brother JDH. Shout out to JDH, one of the OGs. I think JDH was subscriber number 5, if I'm not mistaken. JDH, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. This ain't that motherfuckers getting treated over here. Listen, I tell everybody at one point in time, You can either watch the content or you can become a victim. I don't come in here trying to victimize nobody, but you can be a victim if you get to talking stupid. That's just what it is. That's a personality trait with me. This channel probably could be at 35,000 subscribers right now if I wasn't me. But guess what? I wouldn't be fulfilled. I'm going to be me. That's just what this channel has always been. That's what it's always going to be. I understand people being offended by it, and this ain't the place for you. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And if you don't fit in, you don't fit in. It is no harm, no foul. Everybody ain't for everything. And I'm not trying to be a place that's for everyone because I'm not a hoe. And I'm not going to hold myself out and not speak in my mind and how I really, truly feel and think. That's all I can say on that one. So, have they filled the last two-way spot yet? Not yet, JK. Not yet, brother. Don't be surprised if Ball is starting point guard by midseason. Hopefully he's not. He's not. It's not going to happen. There's zero chance of Lonzo Ball being the starting point guard this season. It's not going to happen. Jerry Reinsdorf to Jerry Jones, a worth opponent. Our battle will be legendary. That's crazy. Two-way spot open still. Yes, the two-way spot is still open. We fam here. Exactly. We family. We gonna argue. There's times when people go off on me. Rightfully so, because I'll be tripping sometimes. Like, it is what it is, man. But all right, y'all. Like I said, I'll be breaking this down even in detail and more full on tomorrow's daily episode. So make sure you guys are stay tuned in for that. We'll be getting into those comments as well around Zach LaVine and somebody in Bulls management throwing some shade to Zach LaVine, and we'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned in for all that. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullsCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.